Hi, I'm Megan with Sincere Shipping, and today we're going to talk about Incoterms. Incoterms are generally accepted international trade terms that govern international transactions and clarify who's responsible for what. In terms of sea and inland waterway transport, there's 4 Incoterms that we deal with. Inland transport by road has more terms, but there's only 4 for sea transport. That's FAS, FOB, CFR, and CIF. They're really easy to understand once you break it down, so I'm just going to go one by one. We'll start with FAS. FAS means free alongside ship, and this is simply where the risk passes to the buyer once the goods are delivered at the port, and that includes payment of all transportation and insurance cost. The export clearance obligation still rests with the seller. FOB means free on board. Free on board goes a step farther than FAS because in this case the risk still passes to the buyer, and the buyer is still responsible for all transportation and insurance costs, but it specifies that it has to be delivered on board the ship rather than at the port. And then a step further than FOB is CFR. CFR stands for cost and freight. That means that the seller still delivers the goods and passes the risk to the buyer when it's on board the vessel. However, in this case, the seller arranges and pays for the cost of freight to the named destination port. And then finally, there is CIF. CIF simply adds the insurance cost to CFR. It's a step beyond CFR. Cost, insurance, and freight. Again, the risk passes to the buyer when the goods are delivered on board the ship, and in this case, rather than the seller just paying the freight, they pay the cost of freight and insurance. So again, they're pretty simple. They're really important to understand because a lot of times in export transactions, we kind of neglect to discuss Incoterms. Everyone just assumes they know what they're doing, and as long as everything goes well, you can kind of brush them under the rug in some transactions. But when something goes wrong, all of a sudden people want to start bringing up Incoterms again. So as an importer or an exporter, it is very important to understand each of those 4 Incoterms: FAS, FOB, CFR, and CIF, and just be familiar with it in case something ever comes up and you're asked about them or have to deal with them in the course of any one of your transactions. If you have any more questions about Incoterms, feel free to call my office or email us or visit our website. It's www.sincereshippingllc.com. All of our contact information can be found there. So we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.